I've come to realize that in life, nothing truly meaningful unfolds unless you embrace risks. As Nelson Mandela aptly put it, there's no zeal in shrinking oneself to fit small aspirations or settling for a life beneath your potential. Reflecting on your journey through school, college applications, selecting a major, and pondering life's direction, I'm certain you've encountered the advice to have a safety net, something to fall back on. However, I've always struggled to grasp the essence of that notion. Why would I want something to catch me if I fall? If I'm going to fall, I'd rather not have anything to lean on behind me. I choose to fall forward. It seems to me that this way, at least, I'll have a clear view of what lies ahead. Without consistency, completion remains elusive. Therefore, pursue what ignites your passion, dare to take risks, and don't let the fear of failure hold you back. There's our classic Iketa test involving 9 dots, where the challenge is to connect them with just 5 lines without lifting the pencil. The solution lies outside the conventional boundaries, requiring you to think beyond the confines of the box. Embrace thinking outside the box and embrace the possibility of failure. Dare to dream big, but always remember that dreams without goals remain mere fantasies. Reggie Jackson, despite striking out 2,600 times in his baseball career, the most in history, is not remembered for those strikeouts. Instead, people recall the home runs he hit. So, fall forward, unafraid of the journey's challenges, because it's the successes that will define your legacy. Did you know that Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments? I didn't until I learned that the 1,000th was the light bulb. Every failed experiment brought him one step closer to success, so fall forward. Understand that taking risks is crucial. You've probably heard this before, but let's delve into why it's so essential. At some point in your life, you will fail. You'll experience loss, embarrassment, and moments where you're just not good at something. It might not be the typical message for a graduation ceremony, but it's the truth. Embrace it because it's an inevitable part of the journey. In the acting business, failure is a constant companion, especially in the early stages of one's career. I remember auditioning for a role in a Broadway musical, a perfect fit for me, or so I thought, except for the minor detail that I can't sing. Needless to say, I didn't get the part. But instead of giving up or stepping back, I walked out of there determined to prepare for the next audition, and the one after that, and the one after that. I prayed fervently, but still, I faced failure after failure. However, I didn't let it deter me, because as the saying goes, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, sooner or later, you're going to get a haircut. Sure enough, my break came last year when I landed a role in a play called Fences on Broadway. What's remarkable is that it was staged at the Court Theater, the same theater where I had failed that initial audition 30 years prior. The lesson here is that every graduate sitting here today possesses the training and talent to succeed. But the real question is, do you have the courage to fail? Because if you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself to your full potential. I'll reiterate, if you're not failing, you're not truly attempting to achieve something beyond your grasp. To attain what you've never had, You must venture into territories you've never explored. Picture this. You're lying on your deathbed, surrounded by the specters of your unrealized potential. The ghosts of the ideas you left untouched, the talents you failed to harness. They hover around you filled with resentment, disappointment, and regret. They lament, "We came to you because you had the power to bring us to life, but now we must depart together, unfulfilled and unrealized." So I ask you today, how many ghosts will haunt your bedside when your time draws near? Recently, I returned from South Africa, a breathtaking land marred by profound poverty in certain areas. Yet Africa is merely the beginning. The Middle East, Japan, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, Philadelphia, the world over, beckons for your assistance. The world is in dire need, and it is from you that we seek salvation. We truly do need it from you, the young people. I mean, I can't speak for everyone up here, but I'll admit, I'm getting a little grayer. The world needs your energy, your dedication, and your wholehearted commitment. Remember this, you've got to step out there and give it your all. Whether it's your time, your talents, your prayers, or your resources, what will you do with what you've been given? I'm not talking about the quantity of what you possess. Some of you are business majors, others theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some may have wealth, while others have patience, kindness, or love. Some may possess the gift of endurance. Whatever your gift may be, what will you do with it? Now, on to my final point about failure. Sometimes it's the most illuminating way to find your path. Life won't always be a straightforward journey. I started at Fordham University as a pre-med student, but soon found myself struggling with courses like cardiac morphogenesis. Unable to comprehend it, I shifted gears to pre-law, then journalism. With no clear academic focus, my grades suffered, plummeting to a 1.8 GPA. Eventually, the university kindly suggested I take some time off. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror. And every time I looked in the mirror, I could see her behind me and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me every time I looked at her. She kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something. I'll never forget, she said. "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy," she said. "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that follow, just as that woman prophesies, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies, millions who up until this day couldn't see me, who up till this day I couldn't see while I was talking to them. And they couldn't see me. They could only see the movie. They couldn't see the real me. But I see youth today, and I'm encouraged by what I see. I'm strengthened by what I see, because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. The chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this.